Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Walter. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, tier list ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, this is one of those films where when I first saw it, to be honest, I wasn't really that impressed with it. I just wasn't really that, and I'm still not that impressed with it. I don't think it's that good of a movie, to be honest. Just I'm watching this, I'm going, yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch this over the new one that came out this year, but it still isn't that great of a movie. But yeah, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which isn't even the case because by this point it would have been 2 summers ago. But if it was called I Know What You Did Last 2 Summers, I guess it wouldn't really flow out the ton. Although I Still Know What You Did, too many fucking words to roll off the tongue and flow off the tongue and take a dive off the tongue. Bit too much for that too. I always forget Danny Tanner directed this, guy who did the Sylvester Stallone film Judge Dredd. But then we're going to, I think he did the pilot and executive produced CSI and helped to launch that shit. Which I love CSI Miami with David Caruso. I got the DVDs up there. But yeah, Danny Tanner. And what's funny is this movie made more money than the new one. This one made $40 million in the US and $84 million worldwide. The new one made like 60-some million worldwide. So, even though this was considered the one that killed the franchise, it still made more than the fucking new one. And again, while I don't like this film, I'd rather watch this than the new one. And I actually got the right here. I have it because I don't mind the first one, but, you know, it came with this. Make It for Bait of the Day. How Do I Deal? I forgot Jennifer Love Hewitt did a song for this movie. Which I remember that song. How do I deal with you? How do I deal with me? There you go, right there. If you're hooked by the original, you'll die for this one. Sam Hellenbeck of the Theater Radio Network. What the fuck is the Theater Radio Network? You know they're begging for reviews when you gotta search the Theater Radio Network. He did a fucking good review. Who the hell is that? The Theater Radio Network. Okay. I mean, this was at least the Toronto Star. I've heard of that. But anyway. So, of course, I Know He Did Last Summer, 1997, was a hit. And they wanted to rush out a sequel, just like Scream was a hit, and then 1997 you had Scream 2. This was a hit, so the next year, 1998, you had a sequel. To go to the Bahamas, so like Jaws 4. Go to the, maybe for any sequel nowadays, never go to the Bahamas, because it won't work out for you. So Jennifer Love Hewitt comes back, Freddie Prinze Jr. comes back, but you also have Brandy, you have Mekhi Phifer, which I don't mind him as an actor. I've seen him in other films. I liked Mekhi Phifer. Jack Black in a strange role where he plays a weed dealer, but he's trying to act black, like a Rastafarian, with dreadlocks, but he's a white guy. But you do get to see Jack Black get killed, so that already makes this film better than the new one. And you got Jeffrey Combs. That's another thing that makes this better than the new one. You got Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator. He's very this snotty, dismissive hotel manager. I wish he was in the film more. I like him. Great actor. And at this point, Jennifer Love Hewitt is having these nightmares. It begins with her having a nightmare at a confessional. She's going to college. And what's crazy about this is that, well, this is a spoiler for the new one, so beware. And the new I Know We Did Last Summer, spoilers for The Killer. Okay, spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Freddie Prinze Jr. is the killer because he wasn't able to move on and they tried to erase us. What's funny about that, if you watch this film, Freddie Prinze Jr. is the one who's healed up. He's fine. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt who screwed up. She's having nightmares. She's being sketchy. Prinze Jr. is the one who's fine, trying to talk to her, say, hey, we made it. We passed through it. He wants her to come down where he's at, as he's working, and come have a party, have fun. But she doesn't want to. This is a small town. She's with her friend Brandy. And Brandy, if I'm being fair, I don't think Brandy does a bad job. I don't. Now, what was that film I saw her in? The A24. It was the A24 film where she kept having to clean this woman's shit. Like this woman moved in and she was an asshole and a racist. And I forget what the fuck the movie was called. Awful film. And Brandy did a terrible job in that. But she's actually not bad here. Hey, I just wanted to borrow your skirt. I'm not ready to die for it. Like, she was fine. Like, she was fine. She wasn't obnoxious or irritating. She was fine. I'm gotta be honest with that. So when they did a phone call, it's a radio station contest, name the capital of Brazil. Now, I'm no expert at capitals, but I know that it's Brasilia, because it's pretty much, it's in the name. The capital of Brazil is in the name, Brasilia. So even I knew that. So when they say Rio, you're right. I'm sitting there going, this is when I first saw the film. Back to the day. I'm like, okay, I am horrible with a map. I'm horrible with geography. But I've seen an episode of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and I fucking know that Rio is not the capital of Brazil. It's Brasilia. And then lo and behold, I'm like, wait a minute, something's up here. So I guess they're hoping everyone is dumb enough to not know that the capital of Brazil is Brasilia. Now, if you don't know, I can understand that, but you may even go, like, is it Rio? Okay, I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's Rio. Like, anyway. But I knew something was up. But they win this trip to the Bahamas for 4. Freddie Prinze Jr. gets invited, and he's like, well, wait a minute, so you didn't want to spend time with me on the weekend, but now you could go to Bahamas, now it's okay? The idea is, well, wait a minute, you were too good to spend time enough with me down here at home, where my home is, where I work, but now it's okay. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm pretty busy. And then his buddy later goes, what are you doing, man? We're not busy. Well, I'm nervous. Why? And then he has a wedding ring. He wants to propose to her. And I've been very critical of Freddie Prinze Jr. as a person. When he went on that stupid rant about Star Wars. Star Wars is just for kids. I'm like, yeah, the first Star Wars where someone gets their fucking arm cut off in a bar with a lightsaber and there's blood on the ground. Yeah, very much a kid's movie. I know George Lucas says that, but yeah, very kid-like. But he just went on this weird tirade, and he just seems like someone that gets led to the basement on all fours by his mistress, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Always got a collar and a leash on. And then the way he just completely ghosted Matthew Lillard. I think it was my friend Fabio? Or maybe he heard it from someone. I swear him or some. Anyway, that Matthew Lillard said, yeah, we don't really talk anymore. He just stopped talking to me and just ghosted him. Just said, yes, Freddie Prinze Jr. is too good. With all that said, I thought he did a good job here. I thought he did better here than in the first movie. The first movie, he's there, but he's a bit green. Here, I thought he did better for what he had to do. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot to do until the end, but for what little he had to do, he did a good job. I like some of the bits with him and John Hawkes. I like that guy as an actor. John Hawkes, he's the guy who ran the shop at the beginning of From Dusk Till Dawn. You fucking liar. I told him nothing. And then they get in that firefight in the beginning of From Dusk Till Dawn. I never yelled it. I never said help us. That's John Hawkes. And his character's on fire and they shoot him and they blow up the place. Low profile. What'd I say? Low profile. So the guy who dies there, that's John Hawkes. So it's cool to see him. He's a good character actor. I've seen him in other stuff. They decided to go down there. I like some of the songs in the movie. Like they're singing Here I Go Again on My Own by Whitesnake. I like that song, so that's cool. Even the song How Do I Deal with Jennifer Love Hewitt, for what kind of song it is, it's fine. I've heard much worse. It's a bit catchy. You say it's a girly song. Yeah. But I can listen. I don't listen to... I probably have not listened to that song since whenever I last saw this. But yeah, I don't mind it. For what it is. While they're driving, they think there's someone on the road, hurt. Freddie sees that it's a mannequin. He knows something's up, and his friend gets killed. And I don't know what it is. The death scenes in this film seems more vicious than in the new one. Now, it's not like people's heads are getting ripped off or anything, but I don't know, the hook attached just seemed a bit more vicious. Maybe it's just... I'll give you the first death in the new one where the guy keeps getting harpooned. But the other ones just seem like nothing. Here, like the friend gets hooked and then pulled out of the car. There's another bit where characters are in the kitchen and the killer comes down and goes to someone's neck and you see the hook come out of the guy's neck. Jack Black, I mean, he gets his hand hooked. And then just garden shears thrust and impaled into his chest. One of the best scenes in the movie. But yeah, maybe it's just me, but the death scenes did feel at least a little bit more vicious. Granted, nothing like, variety of Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street films in terms of kills, but I do think they amped it up a bit from the first one with the kills. And again, these felt a bit more impact than the new one. Which I know some said they liked the new one. Teach their own. I don't get it. I don't know what there is to like about the new one. The characters are one-dimensional and shallow. Barely anything happens. The dialogue is awful. The story is awful. So what is there to like about it? I don't get it. But that's just me. But yeah, granted, the script in this isn't that great either. But I did like the bit where the killer's chasing Freddie Prinze Jr. and there's a shot where he jumps kind of the barricade and it's a close call. It's a nice looking shot. It's using all the trailers where you see the truck kind of almost hit him and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character's jumping up and then into the ditch. I thought that was a good stunt. Whoever did the stunt, I thought that was a good shot. Meanwhile, the characters, they get to the Bahamas. There's this hotel ran by Jeffrey Combs, which I appreciate. Well, I've had enough of the youth. Yeah, that's some hotel. Well, I'll outlive you, I'm sure. Like, just so smarmy. Jeffrey Combs, I wanted to see more of him. But it's always great to see him. Also, great to see Bill Cobbs. He's the bellhop. I remember him from Demolition Man. He played the older Zachary Lamb. Well, they finally grounded me. Well, shit, you're a goddamn good pilot. Excuse me. And that's where Stallone gets all the tickets. Buff fucking pain in the ass. His duff fucking pain in the ass. So much for the 3 seashells. But the older guy who knew Stallone, that's Bill Cobbs. Which actually he was supposed to get killed in Demolition Man, but they cut the scene out. Because Wesley Snipes was supposed to kill him and take his car, and then that's when Stallone and Sandra Bullock has the old car. They did that car chase. But again, they cut his death scene out. So that's why he disappears. You never see him again. But I like Bill Cobbs. I mean, I guess they're trying to make him a red herring, but you know he's not the killer, and he's into like voodoo stuff. That wasn't really much in terms of great writing. Jack Black is such a weird decision. Jack Black. Obviously he's meant to be the comic relief, but it's like he's a weed dealer, and hey, how's it going? You know, just trying to be black. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just getting jiggy with it. So the killer kills a few more people, kills the guy who's tying up a bow, kills his housekeeper, drives the bodies around, and eventually does kill Jack Black. So, since I'm not really a fan of Jack Black nowadays, that was fun to see. So it's the Jackal in this film where Jack Black gets killed, and because he gets hooked, and the killer gets garden shears, it just impales him. Decent practical effects. And then there's certain parts of the script that just doesn't make sense. Like, the killer has Jennifer Love Hewitt there, who's in like a tanning salon, tanning booth thing. Could just open up and kill her, hook her, or find a hooker and do something. But no, he zip ties the thing shut. Now you could argue he doesn't want to kill her yet because he wants her to suffer, so make her burn however long it can burn. Maybe that's what they were going for, to make her suffer. Okay, I guess. I guess that was the idea. But it just, you know, does... It's like, okay, kind of that reaction, like, I guess. But yeah, the killer puts zip ties, and then they finally get her out. They go to find Jeffrey Combs. They find his dead body. He's got like a machete or something in his head. It's raining, it's storming out, and that's where Jennifer Love Hewitt tells Brandy, Mekhi Phifer, and this other guy they're with about what happened at this point 2 summers ago. And then also what happened last summer where, you know, her friends died and, you know, what all happened there. Oh, another actress, Jennifer Esposito, which I like. She's in this. She's someone who works at the hotel. They have to figure out what to do next. Heavy spoilers. Mekhi Phifer gets killed. I didn't mind his death scene. Just like there's a kitchen area. It's one of those things like the killer drops down like out of the blue and hooks him right through the neck. I thought that was a decent kill. You have some chase scenes, including kind of this attic area, and then chasing with Brandy, where there's close calls, and she even falls through this glass to try to escape. Meanwhile, Freddie Prinze Jr., pretty much what he's doing, he's in a hospital, he escapes, he gets a gun, he gets a boat, he goes over there. So he doesn't have a whole lot to do until the end. Well, he has the gun. It won't work. There's 2 killers. One is the killer from the first movie, he's still alive, and the other is his son, who is the other friend. Not Mekhi Phifer, but the guy who you tell was kind of warm his way up to Jennifer Love Hewitt. They beat up Freddie Prinze. They got Freddie Prinze. He does his elbow, shoves, and the killer accidentally kills his own son. And then Jennifer Love Hewitt shoots the shit out of the killer. Which apparently, even though they go through all this, eventually they do get married, but then they hate each other so much they despise each other for whatever reason. They don't explain the new one, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, "I'm going to be a killer too," for stupid, inane, dumb fucking reasons. Yet people like the film. I don't get it, but teach their own. I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr., I thought he was more... He's not in the film as much, so maybe it hid more of his weaknesses in acting, but he felt more sure of himself. He felt more assertive and stronger. I threw a good elbow and actually accomplished something. It was worthwhile. The two of them worked together to kill these two killers. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot to do in the film, but it was cool to still see him in there. Brandy did fine. She's one of the only other people who survives. It's not a long film. It's not over long. But it's a slasher film that's just really nothing altogether special. I mean, the Bahamas brings a little bit of difference in location, but not enough to really break its typicalness with other slashers of that era, of those kinds of 90s, late 90s slashers. You just talked about the plan, about, okay, they were able to afford, the idea to get these people all the way to Bahamas, and then yet it seemed like a very overcomplicated plan to have this all said and done. I don't know, maybe it's just me. The dream scenes, like, it ends with a nightmare scene where she's married and she looks in the mirror, there's someone under her bed, she gets pulled through, and I didn't care for that. Ending on a night. Obviously, she's still alive, so that was a nightmare scene, but still, I was like, I didn't care for that. I don't think you needed it. I don't think it really accomplished anything. And you'd tell it was a rushed sequel. This would be another one. I'd upload a video, sequels that should have waited. I think they should have waited at least another year. Fine-tune it. See if there's anything we can really get that's a bit more unique, or... I mean... Jennifer Love Hewitt, I never minded her. Freddie Prinze Jr. I thought did fine. Brandy I thought did fine. I like Mekhi Phifer. Jeffrey Combs, nice to see him in there. There's not a whole lot of mood or atmosphere. The kills, I mean, there's not really much room for creativity. Some of the hood scenes are a little bit vicious, but I mean, nothing that's going to make you go, whoa. Jack Black does get killed, so that's cool. I keep repeating that, but... yeah, it's one of those films that just kind of... it's there. I mean, watch it nowadays. Would I say I hate or despise the film? No. In a weird way, it brings a sense of nostalgia, which I know is weird to say, but it does bring a sense of nostalgia. I mean, if I did a list of the top 50 worst sequels, this wouldn't be on there. It just... other than that stupid Jack Black character and the stupid nightmare ending, it's kind of a harmless sequel. I will say, like, it was a harmless sequel, and I will admit there's a part of me that maybe thinks it is a time waster, but it didn't make me mad or angry or anything like the new one did. Well, I think the new one, I mean, those characters and such were so fucking boring, and so much dit sucking on the original. This one, at least, I don't know if I say it had its own identity, but okay, different location. That's pretty much all I was going for. But it's one of those things that, did anyone want a sequel? No. No one was asking for a sequel. No one was saying, please can we have a sequel? No one was saying that. So it just kind of, It was there, and then it was forgotten, and then, But funny enough, was referenced a few times in the new one. So I don't know, just... And Jennifer Love Hewitt once again, yelling, "What are you waiting for?" Whatever the fuck she said. Like, it didn't work the first time, don't do it again. "I'm right here, come and get me, right here." Okay. You see that coming? But no one wanted to know what they were doing last summer at this point. And they still didn't know didn't want to know and didn't give a fuck what they did last summer or 2 summers. That's the thing. It's like, was this needed? No. Is this memorable? No. But do I hate this? Do I think this is that good of a film? No. But do I think this is a god-awful bad film? No. I don't. I've seen so many other slashers, horror films, bad films in general. I mean, I just saw Night of Horror from 1981. I just saw Elf Bowling the movie and fucking, The Chilling with Linda Blair and Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 and those other ones and afterward. And like, compared to a lot of sequels, this one's just kind of... It's there. I liked enough of the actors. And I liked the setting didn't bother me. The kills were okay. It was there. Like, watch it again, I'm like, I've seen a lot fucking worse. So, there you go. So, I could deal with it. Like, if I had to watch this again, I could deal with it. I'd rather watch this than Scream 5 or 6. Or Scream 4, 5 or 6. I'd rather watch this than the new one. So, there you go. Maybe I've just seen so much shit and so much worse that you got propped up a bit more just for doing nothing. But yeah, take that for you will. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.